The Zombies universe has an extremely complex storyline made up of multiple different timelines and fractures sprinkled in. What I'd like to do is try to predict what would happen if the events of the main storyline were changed. For my first video, I'm going to predict what would happen if Richtofen failed his grand scheme and failed to complete the Moon Easter egg. The reason for his failure doesn't really matter. Maybe he got overrun by zombies in Griffin Station, or maybe he's just really bad at Simon Says. All that matters is he failed, and he has no chance of succeeding. Richtofen, along with the rest of the crew, are all doomed to die on the map Moon, or at least in this new storyline they are. Okay, so from here there are two possible outcomes that can come from this. One is that Maxis just kills everybody on Earth, and takes all the power in the Aether, and the story's over. Because that's what could happen. Richtofen won't be taking Samantha's spot in the MPD, meaning there's no reason for him not to do that. But I don't really want to focus on that possible outcome just because it ends so quickly and it's not very entertaining. Basically, it just ends with Maxis being ruler of everything, and that's it. But there's also a separate outcome that could come from this, one that's a little bit more exciting. Maxis could choose not to use his power in the Aether and just let the Earth be fine how it is. But it actually won't be that much of a happy ending. While it seems like it should be, it's not going to, because there was a nuke that went off in Nuketown. Right before you play Nuketown Zombies, you can see these explosions everywhere. That's from a nuke that Broken Arrow found and detonated while digging up 115. What this did was it made 115 airborne. Everything was going bad. There was multiple explosions going off. Zombies were coming. The CDC had to investigate. The CIA had to investigate. It was a whole thing. But all of this happened before the Moon Easter egg. Back in 2025, the same day, actually, but a little bit before. And then Nuketown Zombies ends with the Moon rocket ending the game and killing all the zombies that are still left around. But that rocket never lands. So the zombies are still going to be walking around in Nevada, and I assume they'd go to other states and try to kill people. Meaning, the entire United States or the entire North America will be infested by zombies. Kind of similar to Transit, but there's more. Broken Arrow has already created the denizens, Avogadro, etc. These could easily get out, especially after Broken Arrow burns down their base to hide the evidence of their 115 work and the explosion that happened in Nuketown. This is what happened in the normal storyline, yet this time there's not lava everywhere. So it's pretty much Transit, and everything is the same as Transit actually, except for the fact that there is no Richtofen announcer and there is no lava all over the place. Great, so Transit still happens, but what about everything else? What about the zombies in China and the zombies in Angola and all of that? Well, it would still probably happen. The reason for this is, while there's no nuke blowing up the entire world or putting 115 all over the entire world, there are still meteors all around the world. And big groups like Division 9 experimenting with 115 and creating such monstrosities like the boss zombies you find on Zetsubo no Shima. This means that there is a high chance that this will get out and multiple other countries will be infected with zombies, not just the US and the entire continent of North America. If they wanted to, Division 9 could use Element 115 on enemies and start a war against all other countries with 115, including the United States. Without the Moon Easter egg, the entire world would turn into a battlefield where each country would have deadly chemical weapons, all containing Element 115. This would most likely end with everybody dying. Now, it's kind of a sad ending, but it's what would happen. Everybody in the world would know about Element 115. It would not be a closed thing anymore, and it may very well end exactly how the buried ending went with Maxis, but this time it was the people's fault, not just Maxis and Richtofen's fault. It's kind of a depressing ending, but hey, at least you wouldn't have to play Transit.